A computer engineer turned passionate wildlife photographer, Jennifer, is our guest for the day. She is from Tuticorin in Tamilnadu and is in love with birds. Clicking photos of them from a backyard and also from an agricultural town is her interest now. Welcome, Jennifer, to Uli Green.
Yeah,
Now,
thank you so much.
okay,
This was my great opportunity to introduce myself to you and your audience.
okay. Now, you did your computer engineering, and from there to bird or wildlife photography. How did this? How did you develop this passion? A total change.
Uh, it was my childhood dream. When I studied sixth standard, me and my mom every time watching National Geography and Discovery Channel, and I told to my mom every time I want to become one of them. But the dream just got away because I have to go to another classes. I have to got higher studies. It's just stopped that far the moment. After I entered into engineering college, in my days of third year, the government announced a lockdown because of COVID. That was my biggest turning point in my entire life because that turning point was given straight to time my photography dream. So that's how I started the photography.
Okay. So you are now doing your final year engineering.
No, I'm not, just now I'm completed.
Okay. Okay. Also, can you give us some information about how you started, the equipment that you used in the initial days, and your current gear for photography? Also, did you do any formal education on photography, or you just learned it on your own?
Of course, I've learned it on my own. On the first time, started to show images with mobile phone, like flowers, sky, landscape, etc. After my dad realized I've been so deep into this photography thing, so he surprised me with a DSLR camera with a pad with 70 to 300 lens. So the first time it was so hard to understand the camera techniques because I didn't study the proper course on photography thing. So I've decided to go through the professional photographer YouTube videos. That was so useful to me to understand the camera techniques, how they use the exposure triangle on the field. So after so many practices I'm used on the field, and I will get a better output from the thing. So I'm still learning, and now I'm currently using a Nikon 200 to 500 lens. It was a super zoom lens for wildlife and a bat photography. So it's almost a costly one, but if you compare with another lenses, this will definitely a budget friendly lens. So if any beginner want to go for another photography thing with another zoom lens, you can definitely go for this lens.
Okay. Now, you've been in this photography for the last maybe 3 years.
2 years, 2 years.
Okay. Can you talk to us about maybe two or three of your favorite shots, the favorite
Uh,
photographs you've clicked?
Actually, my two favorite photo was the owlet and the rufous cheap-eye bird because the bird was I've been so hard trying to catch it because one fine morning I'm casually shooting birds on my from backyard. Suddenly, I've noticed that one little movement from a long distance. So I've decided to click a picture. After I zoomed in, that I think this was an owlet. So I've decided to go to that place and get a closer look. But that owlet saw me that I was coming here. The owlet was fly away. So I've just home to return disappointment. After the second day, I saw the same action on the same morning. Again, I decided go to the place and get some closer look to that owlet bird. Again, the bird saw me, the bird fly away. So I've been more disappointed because the second day was also happened the same thing. And again, the final day, the third day, I'm decided to go to the place to capture the owlet. And finally, he give me a boss, just take the boss, and I will fly away. So I clicked almost 5 photos of the tablet. The same thing was happened with the rufous cheepy bird. The I actually failed 20 times to catch the rufous sheepy bird. Every time I saw the bird, I tried to catch the bird, but that didn't happen because I didn't properly to approach the bird. After so many months, the bird, I hear the bird sound so near to me. So I've decided, and I get my gear and waiting for the bird to more than 20 times. And I hear the bird sound, and I'm looking up on the roof of the building. So that's how I catch the rufous sheepy bird more than 20 times failed. So this is my most favorite photos and most struggled photos in my recent times.
Okay, that's interesting. Now you're equipped with your computer science engineering degree, and also you've completed about 2 years in bird photography. 10 years from now, where do you see yourself?
I On the first I didn't realize I will came to this far on this photography thing when I was started. So I feel proud myself because so many people have so many dreams but didn't get the opportunity to close to the dream. But I've got it with my family support, with my friends support. Everything will came on a right time. So I feel proud myself in the journey of 2 years.
Okay, that's great. I mean, if you look at it from a close point, you are actually an inspiration or a motivation for a lot of beginners. You've set an example of a youngster student getting into the bird photography and reaching a situation where you're happy about what you're doing. Now, if there is
Uh,
an advice that you want to give these youngsters who want to come into the field of wildlife photography, it could be equipment, it could be the approach, it could be the attitude. What could be that advice that you want to give?
if any people want to do the photography thing, first you have to study the subject. What kind of subject are you going to approach? Because in birds there are so many types of birds in our country. So if you try to shoot a bird, you have to learn their behavior, what color they are, what size they are, what sound they produced, how many types of birds in under one bed. Because in one bed there are so many in under. So you should have to study the subject and respect the nature. Don't get into an unwanted thing for your purpose. I've actually and everything will happen in the right time. So you have to wait for the right time and do your process, enjoy the process, create every memories when you go outside on the field to get a picture. So you should have to create a moment on the on between you and your subject. So um, everything will happen in the right time. So you can wait for it, be patient, and if any beginner want to do the photography thing, so I very all the best for your future and an upcoming wildlife photographer.
Thank you, Jennifer. I mean, you've been very, very clear on how you can proceed as a bird photographer in terms of you have to learn your subject, you have to learn your equipment, you have to respect the nature, you have to understand the behavior of birds, and be patient that everything will happen at the
Yeah,
right time. Thank you, and wishing you all the very best in your career, in your bird photography career also. All the best and do well.
thank you so much. Thank you.